Hey gamers, Gecko here. I hope you have your copium bottles ready, because today we're talking about 2.0 again. It's the last bit of moisture to keep me going through the drought, okay? If you are unaware, the Arc World Tour has just finished its final qualifying event. There are no more major offline tournaments that will get you into the Arc World Tour. There are no more online tournaments that can help you get more points. Everything is done. The only event that can still let people into the Arc World Tour finals will be the last chance qualifier held days before the official event. For us competitive-minded folk, that means there's going to be a bit of a drought for officially licensed Guilty Gear and Grand Blue tournaments. Which kinda sucks, but it does mean that we're very close to another very important and very special event. 2.0 news. Sounded like Pops. If you don't know, I have been saying since 2.0 was basically announced that we probably won't hear anything until the Arc World Tour. And now that I am living through that reality, I'm realizing how much it actually kind of sucks that we don't get any news until the Arc World Tour. But I want to share a little bit of a theory with you guys on what might actually end up happening. To begin with, let's go over what we know about 2.0. Thankfully, the developers did a unexpected backyard that was talking about Unica and Lucy's release, as well as a little bit of 2.0 news. Not a lot, but a little bit. From the way they were talking in this blog post, it made it sound like 2.0 is basically just going to be a giant update. You're going to get 2.0, and you're probably not going to have to pay for it. This isn't going to be a Grand Blue Rising situation. Every gameplay affection will probably be part of a base upgrade that you can get. I imagine then that if you want the characters that come afterwards, you're going to have to buy some sort of season pass. But who knows, maybe the first couple will be free if they're feeling generous. They specifically said it'll feel like you're picking up a new game, which is the phrase that I'm going off of to say that it probably is just a big update. But we should expect a lot of things coming out of this. Title updates in the past were absolutely insane with the amount of things that came from them. So I'm very excited to see what gameplay elements come from Arc System Works. But if we go even further back to before Lucy released, Arxis started acting a bit out of character, is probably the best way to say it. For several years at this point, I essentially complained that Arc System Works would never talk to us about anything. Things would just kind of happen when they happened, and we wouldn't get much heads-up notice. We wouldn't get any insights on what's going on with the game. And while they would do surveys to talk to us and show us the results, we never really knew what that kind of meant. Now, it makes it sound like I want to know everything that's going on behind the scenes, and I don't. But there was a lot of things that just didn't quite make sense from the player's perspective, because the devs weren't communicating at all. Then, around Lucy's release, things started shifting a little bit. There was obviously the Arxis showcase, which was an absolute disaster, but hopefully a strong learning experience for the company as a whole. Alongside that, they did an actual panel talking about Lucy before she even came into the game, and took a bunch of questions and answers from there. Then after that, they started talking in interviews about Guilty Gear and the future of everything. They said in those interviews they were going to go dark for a little bit, but it was a nice change of pace. Arxis was actually talking to people. So, it makes me wonder a little bit. With over a month and a half, closer to 2 months of time between the last Guilty Gear tournament of the Arc World Tour and the finals, what's gonna fill that gap? Well, there's two possibilities. The safe one that doesn't have you huffing copium is... Ow! I just hit my hand. Is absolutely nothing. If you want to play it safe and don't want to get your hopes up, and I'm telling you, you probably shouldn't get your hopes up, it would be best to assume that we're not going to hear a single thing from Arc System Works until the day of the finals. Keep your expectations tempered until March 22nd. But there is another possibility. One that's a little bit more hopeful. A little bit more copeful. One that if it doesn't happen might make some people mauled. Since Arxis was much more forward with reporters and talking to the community through backyard blog posts, there may be a future in which we see some things before the final event. Now, I'm not saying they're going to reveal the whole thing before the actual Arc World Tour finals, because that would be kind of stupid and pretty anticlimactic. But there is a possibility that they give us little teasers on what's going on. They've tried to do this before. At the 2024 Arc World Tour finals, Arxis teased Slayer. And by teased, I mean they did a pretty poor job of who's that Pokemon, but they tried. So it may be that they have some things similar along those lines. Hopefully not just a blank silhouette in which we have to guess the very obvious character. It's a testament to how good the silhouettes actually are in Guilty Gear that we can see it and immediately know who it is, but I'm hoping for something more along the lines of small, out-of-context clips. Things like showing us the small new moves that characters might be getting, or a system change that isn't fully explained. Something just to post every once in a while to get people going rabid until we get the actual patch notes. I think Arxis is a lot more media savvy nowadays than they used to be. If you don't know, old Arc System Works announced a port of a video game by writing it on the bottom of a shoe. Their marketing team wasn't very good, but it seems like they understand more nowadays that talking to their community and getting them hyped up is actually a pretty good thing. So hopefully they'll have small things to share with us to keep us going just for a little bit longer. There's already kind of been a couple of things happening. Granted, it's sort of a leak. Aisha, the person who sings most of the female vocals for Guilty Gear songs, says that she was going to Japan. And let's be real, people can put two and two together. So having more concrete, more actual teasers going out would be really fun. I do hope we hear something from the Strive team soon. And if we want Mega Copium, hopefully we'll hear something from the Tokon team as well. God, could you imagine? Tokon's in such a weird place that even my dad, who doesn't follow most game stuff, knows that there's been no fucking announcements going out. It's really funny. Strive could probably last a little bit. The Strive community is used to waiting 6 months for one character. Marvel Tokon needs something though. They need to do something. The first one's a wish. The second one is a demand. I would still say don't get your hopes up too much. Again, I'm just an idiot on the internet, and I have very much been wrong about this kind of stuff before, but if someone needs to push the hype train, then I'm the one who's willing to start it. I'm very excited for whatever happens for the future of Guilty Gear, especially with them saying it's going to feel like an entirely new game, and I hope you're all excited too. Let me know your wish list for 2.0 down in the comment section below, and while you're down there, why don't you subscribe? Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!